Thank you very much, Gaelic, and thank you for the condolences as well. It was my cousin John McGahon who famously won an FAI Cup medal in 1958 with Dundalk FC at the age of 18, so I appreciate that. Minister, I've submitted this commencement debate today about urban regeneration funding because it's such an important part. It's such an important issue for the north end part of Dundalk town. And the Bridge Street and the Linenhall Street area has been essentially a neglected part of Dundalk for the last 40 years for various different reasons. And I only live a few minutes away from this part of town, and it is, and I genuinely mean this, it is one of the most sincere and genuine communities that Dundalk town has to offer. The residents and the traders in that area back each other continuously. They support each other continuously. But I'm here today to say that we need that extra support in the form of government funding and substantial government funding under urban regeneration for the Bridge Street and the Linenhall Street area. And during the last year, Louth County Council have embarked on an extremely ambitious project worth over €5 million, which has totally transformed the Clonbrassil Street area, which is our main street in Dundalk. So if you imagine Dundalk at the minute, we have transformed the square. It goes right up Clonbrassil Street, €5 million worth, and it's right up into Church Street, and it stops dead on Clonbrassil Street. When you step into the two different streets, it's like stepping into a different town as such. And as I said earlier, that really hasn't stopped local businesses and local residents doing their very best to make that area thrive as a bustling community. And we have people like Martin McElliott, who's in charge of the business improvement scheme, Dundalk Bids. They've embarked on a really ambitious programme, an art mural programme. They constantly strive to help businesses in the area improve. We have people like Joan Martin, our Chief Executive in Louth County Council, Frank Pentony, Catherine Duff, Director of Services, who have put months and months and months of work into this application, along with staff members, making it an attractive application for the department to look at, that I would find it hard to believe if it wasn't approved. I think it's that good. Indeed, they've submitted much more further information requested this year to really strengthen the basis of the application. This funding will have to be in the millions, make no doubt about it, and it'll have to be done over 2 projects. And if we can get this funding approved by your department, it will really transform this part of Dundalk town. It can become a thriving hub for business, residents and the wider community. It can also be a flagship project for you, Minister, and the Urban Regeneration Fund that can be shown right across towns that this is how you apply for funding, this is how you do it, and Dundalk can be a leading example for other towns to follow. And I really do believe that. This project has such potential that approving this application will really provide previously unimagined potential for the north end of Dundalk. If you can imagine residential units above shop fronts, enticing younger people to come in and live above the shop front again, unlocking pedestrian space, creating a thriving community space right in the heart of Dundalk, improving the streetscape to make it more accessible for elderly people and people with disabilities, vacant and derelict buildings disappearing before our very eyes and been replaced with brand new retail units that young entrepreneurs can go in, get their first chance and their first start in. It will completely redefine the north end of Dundalk town. And I cannot emphasise this enough, Minister Burke, how important this funding is for Dundalk. It's an area that is crying out for support. It has had huge local support. It's had great support from the government. It has great support from the County Council. But we need government intervention. And we need government intervention in the form of substantial funding that will allow us to revolutionise the street space for residents and business alike. And I really believe we have one shot. We have one chance to make that happen. And that chance is with this funding, which I really am here in our national parliament to emphasise how important it is for the town of Dundalk.
Thank you, Cathaoirleach. Thank you, Senator McGahon, and thank you for raising this very important matter with me here today. Project Ireland 2040 was launched by the Government on the 16th of February 2018. It's the overarching policy and planning framework for the social, economic and cultural development of Ireland. It includes a detailed capital investment plan for the period 2018 to 2027, the National Development Plan 2018 to 2027 and the 20-year National Planning Framework. The principles of the NPF are underpinned by the National Development Plan, a 10-year, €116 billion capital investment programme as well. The National Development Plan 2018 to 2027 established 4 new funds with a combined allocation of €4 billion to 2027. The URDF has an allocation of €2 billion to 2027, primarily to support the NPF's growth enablers of the 5 cities and other large urban centres. The URDF, which was launched in 2018, is providing part funding for local authority-led projects that will enable a greater proportion of residential and mixed-use development to be delivered within the existing built-up footprints of our cities and large towns, while also ensuring more parts of urban areas can become attractive and vibrant places in which people can choose to live and work, as well as invest and visit. The URDF programme has been very well received, and already the URDF is providing assistance for a pipeline of major projects that will contribute to the regeneration and rejuvenation of our 5 cities and other large towns, in line with the objective of the National Planning Framework and the National Development Plan. In mid-2019, approval in principle and provisional funding allocations issued in respect of 87 major projects across the country. This significant pipeline of projects approved under Call 1 of the URDF is set to have a transformational impact in urban areas throughout the country. Under Call 2 of the URDF, which was launched earlier this year, Louth County Council submitted an application seeking support for the project you mentioned. There were a large number of proposals received under Call 2, with every local authority submitting at least one application. Because of the nature of the URDF programme, the proposals are very complex and each requires detailed assessment, which is currently undergoing. The assessment process for applications received under Call 2 is obviously in train, and it is intended that the new tranche of approved projects will be announced later this year and will augment the existing pipeline of projects from Call 1 and contribute to the achievement of the National Planning Framework and the commitments laid out in the programme for government. I have listened to the case you have made in relation to Bridge Street and Linenhall areas of Dundalk. You have put them across very well. Indeed, I have met with you previously with regard to this project, and you have outlined the merits of it. It's a key project for Dundalk, and I can assure you that your representations are well made and that they will be listened to within my department, because I think it's very important that we do unlock the potential of our towns, our large towns and cities, and that is exactly what URDF funding is for. It's the cornerstone to enable our citizens, our investors, realise their potential, to ensure that we have a strong mixed-use, regenerated area of our towns and cities. So I look forward to working with you over my term in delivering projects such as this, as are very important projects for the area and indeed Dundalk itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Minister Burke, I'd like to put on the record of this House to thank you personally for all the support that you have given towards this application in the last couple of weeks. And I know, coming from, while Dundalk is the largest town of Ireland, your hometown of Mullingar has a lot of the same similar issues. So I know that you personally know the issues that are at stake here. And I really want to say you are quite right that this is transformative funding. It has the potential to unlock previously unimagined ideas. We have had so much urban regeneration funding coming into Dundalk in the last 2 years that the Bridge Street area is what I would call the final piece in the jigsaw. But the application that I'm looking for today, and the substantial funding, which will have to be in the millions, is the first part of the jigsaw to really benefit the rest of the Bridge Street area. So if this funding and if this application is successful, we will be sitting back down with Louth County Council and looking at what the next application we're going to put in to bring it further even more, and we'll be bringing that back to your attention. I really cannot stress enough in my last 9 seconds, this is vital funding for the town of Dundalk. It really needs to be approved, and I think we need to do everything we can to get this funding across the line.
Thank you, Senator McGahon, for your very elegant timing. Minister, for the final word.
Thank you, Las Cathaoirleach, and I thank Senator McGahon again for raising this issue, and I will bring back all the issues that he's raised in terms of the merits of this case. Indeed, you have put them forward at length with me in the past. I think it's very important that projects like this are supported, because they are the real core regeneration projects that will unlock the potential of our towns, and that is key in what URDF seeks to do under the MPF. So I hear the case you've made. It's a very strong case, I believe, for Dundalk, and I will bring that strongly back to my department, because it's very important that we do advocate for our areas, for genuine projects like this that are able to stand on their own merits, and I believe that's what this project does. Thank you.